Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Are you looking for some non-dairy milk ideas in case you're lactose intolerant and you want to have some milk or milk type of products in your prepper pantry? You might be able to do something as simple as head to the Dollar Tree and look at the shelf-stable milk, or UHT, which is ultra high temperature the way it's processed. So that's why it can live in those little cardboard waxy cartons. Many times it states right on it, it's good for up to a year. And I have used some of the milk products when they were a year expired and they were still very good, fine to drink. I did store them in a very cool environment, so your results could be different. So you might want to keep track of that date and rotate those non-dairy milk products within a reasonable amount of time. Some of the non-dairy milks that I've tried from the Dollar Tree include the almond milk, sweetened almond milk, and then you can also find oat milk. And I have found those all to be quite nice. You can also find coconut milk. There's a light version and a full version, so it kind of depends on what you want to use it for, how creamy and thick you want it to be. Something to think about is it's not that difficult to make your own non-dairy milk drinks. For example, rice milk. You can take a cup of rice, 4 cups of water, put it into a blender for about 30 to 45 seconds, not any longer though, and then it should make a nice rice milk. If you blend it too long, it can become slimy and nobody's going to want to drink that. Blend your rice milk. You want to have a fine gauge strainer, and you strain the rice milk, and then it's ready to put into the refrigerator to chill and serve it later. A rice milk option that I learned about in traveling to Mexico is a drink called Horchata, and it is a rice milk beverage that's very popular. To make horchata, you would need 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of hot water. It could just be hot tap water. Then you want to soak it in a bowl with a cinnamon stick overnight. If you don't have a cinnamon stick, maybe try about a teaspoon of cinnamon, but the cinnamon stick is really what makes it more authentic. Then the next day, you would put it into the blender 30 to 45 seconds, and then you would strain it. You may want to strain your horchata through a tea towel and then put it into a larger container and add 8 more cups of water. Then it's a lot of times sweetened with sugar or some vanilla. So you might want to taste it though to figure out how sweet you want it, how does it already taste, and then stir in amounts of sugar or vanilla to suit your liking. Horchata is a great drink that's served in Mexico. It's great to serve with spicy foods. It's nice to have early on a hot morning, and I think it's very popular at Christmas time. So you don't have to be lactose intolerant to want to learn how to make horchata. Oat milk is very similar to rice milk. And as preppers, we have things like rice and oatmeal, so we can make these kinds of milks anytime we want. To make oat milk, you would use 1 cup of rolled oats, 4 cups of water. Put that into the blender 30 to 45 seconds. Don't over blend it or let it soak, because that's what causes it to become slimy. Now you're going to strain your oat milk, and you could use the fine mesh strainer, or you could also use the tea towel again. It depends how you find the consistency of how you like your oat milk. Some people report that if you add oat milk into, say, hot coffee, that it does become a little bit slimy. It's just sort of the nature of the drink. So try different techniques to see how they're going to work for you. Almond milk is also a drink you can make on your own. You want to take 1 cup of almonds and 4 cups of water and soak it overnight, because nuts tend to be very hard. Then you need to have a very high-speed blender to make the almond milk. Because the almonds are so hard, a lot of inexpensive blenders aren't up to the task of grinding up the nuts. But almond milk is something that you can try if you have almonds on hand. To have a can of coconut milk, here's an easy recipe to use it up. Saute 4 ounces of mushrooms, add 1.5 cups of vegetable broth, add a handful of spinach, a pack of top ramen, Once the noodles are softened, slowly pour in a half a cup of coconut milk, and you're going to have a nice bowl of hearty soup that is very delicious and so simple to make out of the foods in your food storage stockpile. Think about the 3 layers of food storage when you're deciding on how to store dairy-free milks for your lactose intolerant needs. That you want to have some that is shelf stable, that's already perhaps in your refrigerator, that is your daily use. Then you want to have some of those products that are put away, say the shelf stable, that you can store in your pantry. And then you're going to want to have the long-term solutions, which is the food that you already know you're stockpiling for the long term. Things like rice and oatmeal, and then the water, of course. It is more confusing if you have dietary special needs, but you can figure it out. Be creative. Look at the foods that you normally eat and try to figure out, how can I have those foods for the long haul? And that's how you're going to be successful. Put the puzzle together so that it fits your dietary needs, and that's how you have the most successful food storage stockpile. Leave it in the comments below if you have other ideas on dairy-free options of foods that people should store in case they need those items. And then also take into account that if you're not drinking dairy milk, that you're not getting the same amount of protein. So you may want to have extra protein on your list of foods to have to make sure that you're getting everything that your body requires. I hope you'll like my video, share it with someone else you think might find it interesting. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.